Hello, everybody. Oh, I need to do one more, don't I? We're gonna do. All right, this is hype. I agree. We're gonna be doing quite a lot of this. I'm very excited to see it work out. See how it's gonna be. I'm continuing the stream. This is a nice Valentine's Day kind of thing, right? Just doing. Oh, how did I set this up? Oh, I remember. Okay. I do this tool script. That text source is total. So let's just double check. There we go. Where is the setup? The setup is on my desk right now. Like this is just like my computer desk. So I'm currently sitting, like right between like my bathroom and my bedroom, on my white desk. I've got a butter dish here that I've repurposed for rolling dice. So let's just do our first one. Oh, we've got a pair. Nothing too interesting. Just another pair. I'm planning on doing this for as long as it takes to get a Yahtzee. And I'm hoping... Ooh, two pair. I'm hoping it won't take too long, but I'm expecting it to take a while. I will be here however long it takes. I've got nothing else planned. I will be doing nothing else for the entire evening. I expect this realistically to take about 4 hours, but could take more, could take less. I've already 2,000 rolls in, and I still haven't succeeded. So I'm hoping that straight is full only. Yes, straight is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not taking small and big straights like in Yahtzee normally would. This is just a pair. So far, I haven't had any biffs, which is interesting. I don't think I've had a single biff. It's possible to biff, but I haven't had one yet. I'm curious as to how many I'm going to end up getting. Not very many, because you need to basically have like a 1 and a 6, and then everything else be from 2 through 5 uniquely. Ooh, 3 of a kind. First trips. I am putting this in manually, by the way, just so you're aware. I have I've got a tool that I'm using right now that lets me click a button and it'll input the relevant roll on the table. I tried getting a program to do it automatically, but it was incredibly unreliable. Look at that. We already have a 4 of a kind. Excellent start to the stream so far. Look at that. 4 of a kind in less than 20 rolls. Crazy. Now, if this was Twitch, we'd be doing like betting for like channel points or whatever for how long it would take before I get a certain thing, some certain quality. Like how long it would take before I get, if I would get 10 quads before I get the Yahtzee, for example, and people would bid on that accordingly. Still no actual biffs though. I figured that bits would be incredibly rare. Like, not like incredibly rare, but like rare enough that it isn't a major deal. But you'd be able to easily find out how many there are just based on the number down on this corner, like comparing it to these numbers up on the side here, which currently all line up. So this is just another 2 pair. I'm like rolling, processing what I see, and then putting it in manually whenever it happens. What's the time/attempts cutoff? You think there's a cutoff. There isn't. I will be doing this for the next 15 hours if I need to. I am going to keep doing this however long it takes until I pass out at my computer. I drank coffee. I had food just now. I got a bottle of water with me. I might have to take a break at some point just for a few minutes. I need to go to the washroom. I've got ginger ale right here in case I'm feeling a little bit ill. But there is no cutoff here. This is a I will keep going. Ooh, another 3 of a kind. I like trips. Another trip. 2 trips in a row. 3 trips in a row. Look at that. We have triple trips. But yeah, you see the title. Stream doesn't end until I roll 5 of a kind. We are committing. Are you able to hear the dice rolling, by the way? I wanted to be able to hear the tingling, and I think you can, but it's also not supposed to be like super deafeningly loud. Let me know if I need to do some rebalancing. Oh, no, actually. That is incorrect. That is a 2 pair. So yeah, I thought about this in ahead of time to be able to undos if I fuck up. That's just a 3 of a kind. It's great, not deafening in my opinion. Perfect. I love hearing that. Another 3 of a kind. Sweet. Another 3 of a kind. What if we're gonna get a full house soon? Another 3 of a kind. Anything that rolls outside the dish, by the way, does not count. I will roll it back into the dish if that happens. This is my first actual biff, by the way. First actual, genuine, I scored literally nothing biff. Wow, and I get 2 biffs in a row. On the 49th rolls. Okay, we're back to a pair. Yeah, I was considering, one of the reasons why I'm doing this is because I wanted to get some empirical data on how likely certain rolls are, and I wanted to compare against the numerical data that I have spreadsheeted. I figured that this would be an interesting way to get some empirical data while also, you know, making content. 3 of a kind. Yeah, I'm basically just going to be sitting here yapping for the next however long it takes. If I get cut off before, like, the 500 point, then we'll add another die. I'll go see if I can find another die, and we'll, Oh, sorry, that's a 2 pair. That's just a 3 of a kind. That's just a pair. So, yeah, I was considering working at making like a dice poker kind of game, like a liar's dice meets Yahtzee. But in order for it to work, I would have needed to know the odds of all the different die roll possibilities. So I made a spreadsheet that contains all 7,776 different possibilities. Yeah, if I fixed die if I get a Yahtzee early. Ooh, first full house. Let's go. Whoop, wrong one. That one's a full house. So yeah, then we'll be trying to roll for a 6 of a kind. Which, I'll have to redo the entire stream layout. But getting a Yahtzee would be pretty awesome. I'm not even going to complain that hard about that. Yeah, so I'm using my right hand to roll and my left hand to input into the into OBS here. I was hoping I'd be able to have it automatically populate a spreadsheet of all the individual rolls, not just what they were, but like all the different like die faces. Ooh, another 4 of a kind. Getting a bunch of those already. The EV for 4 of a kind or quads is something like 80 something. So the fact that I'm getting so many of them is really interesting. getting fairly lucky with quads right now. That's a biff. Only my third biff. 2 pair. 2 pair. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is our first actual straight. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm getting incredibly lucky with the quads today. 1 per 27 rolls is way more than I'm supposed to be getting. That's another 3 of a kind. So, in your head, if you had to take a guess, would you think that triples or 2 pair are more common? Because my head said it would be 2 pair, but they're basically even right now. Wow, are you fucking kidding me? That's a lot of quad. Like, really, really quickly. Just a pair. That's a full house. 6 is full of 2s. I'm not sure how I'll be evaluating all of it. By the way, that was a... Oh my god, I rolled 2 full houses outside of it. Okay, well, that's a full house. I rolled a 6, then a 3, then another 3 when I was trying to roll in there. But of course, it doesn't count if it doesn't go in the butter dish. Only those that hit the butter dish are correct. Are valid die rolls. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. That's a biff. Womp womp. It'd be funny if I ever did this again to add like sound effects every time that there was a specific kind of roll. And if it can be done automatically so I don't actually need to manually input them up. It does take time to do so, right? I just click a space. If I just click the space bar and it would just like detect what the dice are. Yeah. That'd be pretty nice. So, how you doing today? You enjoying your Valentine's Day? You had plans today? Hanging out with friends? You got a date? Any of that kind of stuff? And I know it's a Friday, so, you know, work, but another biff. Doesn't mean you can't do some fun things, right? Just a pair. Wow, that's gross. Man, I'm still feeling very fortunate with this, with all these rolls today. I'm hoping that I'm able to get a Yahtzee relatively quickly so I don't need to sit here for 18 hours. But I've already spent a lot of time rolling, so not just like here today, but just broadly. I've been doing rolls for a week now, trying to get a solid roll, and I just have not gotten a single Yahtzee. Another 2 pair. And I figured that if I was going to be doing it, I may as well keep track. Not a biff, not quite a biff. Yeah. I was having difficulty reading that one for some reason. I'm not sure why. The ones were paralyzing me. Three of a kind. There seems to be a significant bar between the pairs, 2 pairs, triplets, and then the rest of the things. They're just way less likely. Kind of like how, like, in poker, a 3 of a kind is way less likely than, or way more likely than getting any of the other options. It's just a 5-card poker hand. Okay. Just a pair. Looks like kind of as expected, pair is twice as likely as two pair, but two pair and trips together are about as likely as a pair, give or take. Just, ew. I was considering putting on some music. I was considering putting on like a television show as well. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go. I just heard a noise. Give me a moment. Okay. Say that was a straight. Two pair. Yeah, I can't really do very much else besides just roll right now because I've locked my my keyboard into doing this because I've put in a lot of shortcuts to get this to work correctly. As such, it's kind of a pain to do anything else otherwise. I sent very simple messages. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sweet. Very simple messages on the switchboard, and that's kind of it. 3 of a kind. But like almost my entire number row is being cannibalized by this right now. I'm just tapping the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 buttons to add to this. I'm pressing 1 and 2 together. 1 is the counter just down here. Oh, full house. And then we have 2 as a pair, 3 is 2 pair, 4 is trips. And it just kind of goes down the entire line like that. That's another full house. Are full houses more common than straights? Oh, dude. Absolutely ridiculous. The amount of quads I'm getting now. Wow. Like, whoop. Sorry. Quads and full houses out the butt. I was not getting nearly this many when I was doing my actual rolls, like, independently beforehand. Biff. Listen to 2 means it's a biff. Wow. What is with all of these quads coming in? Ridiculous odds today. Should not be getting as many as I am. 2 pair. Ooh. Oh god. There we go. Just a 3 of a kind. Not nearly as interesting as a full house or a quad. I will live with 3 of a kind. 2 3 of a kinds in a row. Can we get a trip? Nope. 2 pair. 2 pair. That's a pair of 2 pairs. Well, that's just a pair. But that's a pair of pairs. I'm actually watching like on OBS right now because it's easier to see than looking down here at what's actually happening. Wow, 2 bets in a row. I feel like single pair is incredibly likely. The fact I'm getting them like half the time is really interesting to me. Missing a 5. Like, pair is just short of half the time. It's like 40-something% right now. We're missing a 3. So that's a bit. That's 2 pair. Two pair. This is very riveting content. But I'm now like wholly mind focused right now. 2 pair. Ooh. You have a pair of 2 pairs. Gotta love when that happens. What should I talk about? I can talk about anything. Oh man, I watched the PlayStation State of Play the other day, and it like, as most of these announcements tend to be, it's like pretty weak for the most part. There have a couple really strong hits. Another four of a kind. Holy cow! In this case, the hits were Lies of P, and there was another game I can't remember the name of off the top of my head. But like it looked absolutely fantastic. It was like another Souls like kind of experience. Really intense. Like visual design. It was very, very beautiful. See if I can find it, but here. Yeah, it looks really, really good. There's not a lot of games that come out that feel like they're really novel visually, unless they're doing like an entirely distinct style. But this is a game that like it's not doing a unique style. It's just looks gorgeous. It looks like it was really like painted, kind of like artistically designed. A lot of worlds kind of feel like they're packed together or they're meant to look realistic without much thought into the artistic structure of it. FromSoft games are pretty decent at that, but most other devs aren't. That's why I love Lies of P, right? Lies of P is fantastic because it has such beautiful art design and really visualizes the this like cursed world in such a novel way. Whoops, that's not correct. There we go. So yeah, the fact that there's more of them coming out and they're of their own IPs and they're not just following off of ones that already exist, they're honestly pretty great. I love them. I want to be able to do like an evaluation once I reach to see what I expected. Just a pair. Bottom left corner is how many rolls I have done, by the way, just so everybody's aware of which roll I am on. It starts at 0. So that was my 196 roll I just did. That was my 197th. Ooh, 3 of a kind. Missing a 4. Another 3 of a kind. And that was 200. Okay. So, I'm going to grab some to drink first. So, right now, we're looking at about 40, mid 40% for pairs. We're looking at like the low 20s for 2 pairs. 2 pairs and trips, collectively something to about a pair, seems really interesting to me. And then straight full house and quads being so much less likely than all the other options is really interesting to me. I wonder if we consider something that's like, if we added in biffs here, how common would biffs be? 7, 6, 5, 18 makes 21. 21 plus 7, 28 plus 6, 34. So 4, 3 plus 12 is 15. 18, 184. So we've had 16 biffs, which means biffs are less likely than pair, 2 pair, and trips. And in fact, it looks like you're about as equally likely to biff as you are to get a straight full house or quad. So pair, 2 pair, and trips being in the middle. And then you have the likelihood index, right? Where you would say like pair, then 2 pair, then trips, then biff, then full house, then straight. I mean, you have to look into which one's actually more likely. But I feel like full house might actually be more likely than straight. Because you have to roll a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 5 and then one of 1 or 6. So rolling 2 of 1 or 6 is an immediate disqualifier. Full house, you can roll whatever you want on the first die. You can either then match the first die or whatever you want on the second die, and then you can eventually, like, you just start rolling those exact values over and over again. I don't know. It's interesting. So, I'm going to, now that I've done a little bit, I'm going to grab the stream link and I'm going to paste it in a couple different places. Since I've now actually, like, copy link. We'll paste it there. I'm going. Paste it there. I'm going to paste it there. There we go. Awesome. Okay, so let us continue going. Let me go pull back up the chat so I have it here. Two, three, four, five, six. Straight. Pair. Three of a kind. Three of a kind. Two pair. Two pair. Become an MP3 streamer, you know. Pair. You got a full house. You got a full house. Why don't we just make a kind of like ditty for all of these? Three of a kind. Three of a kind. Pair. Three of a kind. Three of a kind. Pair. Two pair. You got a biff. Pair. Three of a kind. Three of a kind. Two pair. 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 Ooh, three of a kind. A three of a kind. There you go. It's going to develop over time as I think of more like melodies to add in the three of a kind. The three of a kind. There we go. I like that. Pair. You know, it's something different for two pairs. Pair. Feels fine for one pair. I feel like we need something slightly more. Two pair. Something like that. Two pair. Pair. Two pair. Two pair. Bonk. Whiff. Pair. How was a lot of size? Pair. 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 Man, yeah, so mentally, when you're trying to account for how likely certain things are, it's really difficult to do full proper counts of everything correctly, just because the probability of certain die rolls turning up certain ways are surprisingly complicated, Biff. Like, it's two... Oh, because it's pair. I was going to say 2-2 over there, so there's no 3. That's why I say it aloud, because it's harder for me to spot straight. But yeah, like, if you're saying, like, well, how likely is it to get a full house? Well, how many full houses are there? In all 7,776 possible rolls, counting for, like, rotation and all that. How many full houses are there? Well, you have a major and a minor. major and a minor number. Put Subway Surfers on the screen, by the way. That's actually hilarious. Full house! A full house! Yeah, let me just go grab like a dancing anime girl or something. Subway Surfers. GIF. Okay, let's say every 500, I'm going to make the stream slightly less boring by adding something to keep the Zoomers awake. It'll be like every hour, give or take. We can do about 500 an hour. That's what we'll end up doing. So right now, we're going to keep it dry and boring for a little bit, and then I'll add like Subway Surfers, and then I'll add like, Dancing Anime Girl. We got a full house, a full house. And then I'll start thinking of other ideas as well. What else should we put besides Subway Surfers and a Dancing Anime Girl? You got any other ideas? Put on like an episode of House or something. House MD. Everybody loves watching House MD during streams, right? I can put in like cookie clicker content at the same time. I can just sit on the side and just like click with like a foot pedal or something. Biff. Minecraft parkour. That's a hilarious idea, actually. I love that. But it's got to be like long enough. Oh man, actually, I think I do have a Minecraft parkour like video that I haven't uploaded yet. That I could probably like just play in the bottom corner. I like that a lot. It'd be even funnier if I like overlaid it on top of the everything. Like I could like slowly, mess with the layout, sure, but it'd be way funnier if I just like overlaid everything on top of everything. So like we like put up like the opacity to like 10%, and then just have that playing over top. That would be very funny, I think. 500. Every 500, we'll add another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Straight. Here's what you missed on. Straight. Just kidding. Exact opposite. 6, 6. I'm actually going to start collecting these ideas because I really like the idea here of doing Minecraft parkour. Wow, I cannot spell today. Subway Surfers TV show. Dancing Anime Girl. There we go. Oh. Well, I'm taking it as it landed. That could have been a full house, but that ended up being single pair. Biff. Yeah, like I said. Oh no, that's not a pair. That's just a nothing. I'm here for the long haul. But my plans for today are to roll dice until I'm incapable of doing so anymore. I love the back support to make sure that I'm not, messing with my spine the whole time. I've got beverages. You got a full house. I've got beverages. I've already eaten food. Man, another quadra kill. Or quad. Then I'll just cut it off there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that was 2, 3, 5, 5, 6. Whoops, like that. There we go. Repair. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That one is a straight. It's full house. I think full house might be more likely than a straight. I think the quad is overrepresented right now, though. Like, I genuinely think that I'm just like rolling with quads for no fucking reason. We got a full house. Whoops. That's a full house. Not a quad. Silly math geek. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Straight. Trips. Trips. Oop. Yeah, so, what should I talk about? I've already talked a little bit about why I'm doing die rolls, which is, I mean, basically the first chunk while there's not much else to talk about. I'm hoping to be a bit more often now. I've gotten a lot of my things set up. I've been improving my skills at OBS. I've got an interesting new stream pad, or like a stream deck rather. I'm not using it right now, unfortunately. I had to take it apart because I got a 3D printed part for it. It required me to take the entire thing apart to be able to use, and it's just not in a good state right now to use. Full house! But I'm hoping to be able to do it soon, and I can do a bunch of fancy things on stream with it once I get there. Things like getting music set up, things like fancy macros for stream purposes. I'm very excited to see what I can get. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight. 2 pair. It cost 300, which is the first. Uh-oh, I think I actually hit pair by accident. So I've been watching Severance recently. I'm not gonna spoil it because I don't know anybody who's in here who might be watching it. But Severance has been a very decent TV show so far. I had a conversation with one of my friends the other day, yesterday actually, and I think it's a decent show. It's definitely like one of the better Apple TV shows. But I don't think it's like incredible. Like, I think it's just okay. There's a lot of plot holes I'm not a huge fan of. I think a lot of the characters are like the main core characters are really solid, but I think the supporting characters are a little bit weak. You started 3 days ago? That's funny because I started 3 days ago. I started like I think 5 days ago, and I binged most of it in that meanwhile. I just caught up to the most recent episode that aired yesterday, today. I'm not a huge fan of watching shows like as they air. Not because I don't like being part of the discussion, because I really do enjoy that part of watching shows live, but I don't like waiting. I like being able to get it all in like one big lump, because I don't like having to commit to doing something over and over and over again. It's a whole problem with my mentality of how I do like activity in general. So I waited until at least part of the second season was out, so I'd be able to watch a big chunk of it, get fully invested in what's happening, and then want to be able to keep watching it long term in the end after that. And it's pretty decent. It's not like the best show in the world, because I think that there's some issues I take with how they cause the main conflict and the sparks that cause everything to go downhill. So Matt, how far into the show are you right now? What episode are you on? What has happened? If you want to mention that in chat. 3 of a kind. 3 of a kind. Full house. Still in season 1 on episode 7 or something? Ayo, chill on what? Chill what? What did I do? I don't know, the conflict spark? I mean, I'm not saying anything specific, and you do know the conflict spark. That was the thing that they established in, like, episode 2. Like, the whole point of, like, I'm not saying, like, any, like, specific, like, the thing that causes discourse in the entire show. That's, like, an episode 2/episode 3 thing. Not, yeah. I'm not talking about, like, oh, when the big bad guy, whatever. Like, no, it's, like, when they first establish that this is not a desirable place to be in. That happens I think it happens episode 1, when Helly's first introduced. But, like, that's an early thing. And I'm not a huge fan of how they went about that. But I think they went about, like, so the aesthetic of the show really interesting. I hate it. Like they want you to hate it, right? Because it's like a corporate kind of like cleanliness that feels 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight. It's meant to feel very like sanitized, right? Everything is white. All the hallways are winding. Everything is very like surgical, right? Because of such, it feels like there's no personality because there isn't. That's the whole point. But it does. Like, it's really done right now. You look, you're now playing some rifles. That's nice. Thank you. Thank you. I'm still going to chat and yap for a little bit about the show, but I'm going to keep it entirely spoiler free. Don't worry. But yeah, the kind of like clean aesthetic of everything is meant to strip personality away from the environment and bring this kind of like clean corporate image which Lumen tries to present. It reminds me a lot of more modern day companies that are trying to do similar things, right? The Super Bowl was a really interesting example of that. If you watched all the Super Bowl ads, there were some that took like really interesting gambles that were really interesting, like conversations with the user, with the, like the watchers, right? There were some that were like really made you think, that were very thought provoking, and then there were a bunch of them that were just like really kind of bland celebrity endorsements. Essentially, there was one Full House. There was one commercial that comes to mind that was. Give me a second. I'm just grabbing a sip of. There was one commercial that I remember that was like a car commercial that had like some celebrity endorsement, and the whole thing was just like, I'm X celebrity and I endorse this product. Let me do something cool with this product, and it was just kind of, oh. I think that kind of like we're trying to be incredibly inoffensive is a sort of like corporate blandness that is permeating through a lot of society today. ChatGPT is a good follow-up example of things becoming sterile, because ChatGPT has a very intentionally inoffensive way of presenting things, but it also means that the ideas that it I hesitate to say the word thinks or presents. I think, yeah, I think idea is even a strong word. The method upon which, how do I say this? Because the word design is a strong word as well, but the visual elements upon which that ChatGPT uses has that same kind of like cold corporate vibe to it, because it's meant to be, as inoffensive as possible. It's meant to be uncancelable if we want to go down that specific kind of route, right? It's meant to be something that anybody can watch, anybody can feel vaguely positive towards, and there is no way you can interpret it in a negative way. There are some companies that'll do ads that are very like, I love America, I want to get rid of this political divide that's killing us all, and that kind of thing can turn off a lot of people from the brand, right? It's intentionally avoiding saying anything remotely controversial so that you can keep up your image as a brand. Full House! And I kind of hate it, because there's a lot of companies that succeeded off the back of making political statements and being present in the relevant communities, right? Ben & Jerry's in the U.S. is one that comes to mind, right? Company that's very left-spoken and spends a lot of time talking about it. And heck, the same thing is true with some conservative companies as well, right? There are some conservative companies that spend a lot of time talking about conservative values. John Deere comes to mind, right? And that's fine when you're appealing to that audience. In fact, I would rather a commercial be appealing to its core demographic, Full House, than trying to be bland and appeal to basically everybody in a very like numb way. The ads in the Super Bowl this year, I don't think were worse than usual. I think there were less big hits, but I also think there were fewer duds, like fewer like complete. This is like offensively bad kind of dud. So it makes everything feels a little bit more milquetoast. Just because like there's nothing, right? Straight. It's like you want to be able to watch something good or bad. And when something is just like not memorable, that makes it bad, right? Like, it's like if the Super Bowl was full of bad ads, it's a memorable Super Bowl. But if it's full of ads don't make anything, that makes it bad, right? Like, ironically, bad means good, good means good, neither bad nor good means bad. You want eyes and you want brains focused. Ads where you can just like turn off your brain and not pay attention because you're paying $8 million for 30 seconds of television. You gotta not waste it. And I think most companies waste it. The one that like jumps to mind and I'm never gonna forget was there was a toiletries brand that did a 30-second bathroom break. It basically just like put a 30-second timer on the screen and said, "Hey, go pee. We're not going to show you anything. We're just going to put our logo on the screen. Go pee now." And honestly, it was really interesting because it took a very non-traditional perspective on advertisement. Where does every ad have to advertise something, or can the ad itself provide a service? In this case, it is literally providing you a service. It's providing you time by saying, we're not going to do anything else that you're going to want to see, but it's not going to be boring enough that you're going to want to like kind of tune it out in the background. This is a direct opportunity for you to do something else knowing you're not missing anything. Because even the boring ads might have something interesting to them, right? But you can't know about that until they happen. So you got to sit by and watch. This ad giving you that like freedom to go do anything else for that 30 seconds, I think was really appealing. And I really quite appreciate that as somebody who was watching through the ad. I wasn't really watching the Super Bowl itself, just because I don't actually care about sports. I was following the game only because I put like a $50 bet down on one of the teams, which by the way they won. Go Eagles, go Birds. Betting against the Chiefs is always there's always a lucrative bet when they're in a good team. It's just a pair. Wow. But yeah, that kind of corporate blend is exactly what like Severance is really trying to milk in, right? It's trying to be this whole devoid of all devoid of all personality, devoid of anything offensive, devoid of anything that might instill creative thought. And that's what like the whole like it's trying to like be this like basically surgical room, right? It's a clean room. It's a clean room for thought as opposed to bacteria. And it's genuinely tiresome in not a bad way. Like it's advantageous for the show to make you kind of like forget how bland everything is visually because it's meant to be that aesthetic design, right? It's meant to keep you focused on the happenings and not on the visuals. There's a lot of television shows that are all about like trying to make you think about the atmosphere, but this atmosphere is very bog standard consistent, and I think it works for the show's benefit. I think that the ambiance being eerie and uncomfortable and sterile is to the show's advantage. Characterization very strong. I think the characters are the main characters are very, very strong characters. I think the supporting cast could use a little bit of work. Second season, I think there's a bit of an improvement in how the supporting cast is used, but I'm not going to say very much else about that. I think that there are some characters that are particularly strong that I think there's like one main character that comes to mind who I would say is a particularly strong actor who isn't part of the main four. I'm not going to specify who it is because I'm not sure who you've met at this point. I can't remember. But yeah, I'm trying to think of like other shows that were like very character forward and had kind of like a bit of a weak plot driving it forward. Like okay, Ozark I think had a fairly weak plot drive, but I think I had a very, very good character motivation like matrix to make it you want to keep watching the show because what the characters are doing are interesting and the problems they're encountering are novel and the way that he has to deal with them are fun to watch. I don't think that the actual core drive of the show is particularly interesting. It's more so about what that spark causes had to happen afterwards, right? You're trying to focus on the aftermath, not the actual explosion, right? At least metaphorically. Full House. Yeah, so Rivals is fun. I've been enjoying watching people play Rivals. It's not my kind of game, only because that like Overwatchy kind of games have kind of like done their have done their number on these, and I'm no longer interested in ooh 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight. I'm no longer interested in playing any more hero shooters. It's just a lot, right? Like there's just so much like time investment to get good. I don't really feel like putting in that much effort for something that doesn't really reward me in return. Um, and I don't mean like, oh, it's giving me literal rewards. I mean more like I don't feel rewarded doing it. Like here I am rolling dice for now it's been almost an hour. But I'm gonna feel rewarded when I eventually succeed and roll a Yahtzee, right? It's gonna take me a long time, and I will definitely be very frustrated at how long it's gonna take me, but I'm gonna feel rewarded when I do it, right? That's a 2 pair, not a pair. Pair. I think Rivals is full house. I think Rivals is doing a couple things really well when I'm watching it from an outside perspective, but it's not something that I want to spend a lot of time, investing in myself. The fact that one thing that comes to mind that they think they did really well, the visual clarity, I think is way stronger than Overwatch's. Overwatch's visual clarity is kind of like pitifully weak. I think that everything is so flashy and takes up so much of the screen, and things are happening so quickly and chaotically that's really hard to be able to properly manage everything visually and mentally. I don't think that's necessarily as true with Rivals. Although more is happening, it's way more like any individual thing happening is just kind of like lesser of a thing to consider, right? It's less of a mental drain to keep track of as from a spectator perspective. It's just easier to keep a brain of what's happening. I think that like Overwatch is kind of like League of Legends without the visual clarity, right? Where it's just like so much happening at the same time that unless you know what you're supposed to look for, you're gonna have difficulty keeping track of it. It can get very overwhelming very, very quickly. Which I think in League of Legends isn't that big of a deal. But I think in Overwatch is a massive deal. Because being lost in Overwatch is, you're dead, your team is dead. That's all your fault. Being overwhelmed in League of Legends means everybody here is overwhelmed. There's no new perspective that's going to change how anybody feels about how overwhelming everything is. It's just going to be a mess for everybody involved. Clusterfucks are clusterfucks for a reason, right? Marvel Rivals also did the whole SFM thing pretty well. Straight. The fact that they released, that basically the game was easily openable to crack all of the full models immediately, was a very, I'm not even sure if they did that intentionally, but it was very shrewd if they did, to basically make it so people could start doing animations with the characters quickly, getting them more attached to characters, making more adult content with the videos, with the models, just like getting the ball rolling culturally, right? If you want something to roll culturally, you need to get the artists interested. And I think making the models accessible was a very good step in accomplishing that, and it was a very, very good decision. What else have we been doing? Oh, I've been doing Archipelago. Archipelago is tons of fun. I love Archipelago. I've been playing a randomizer with a couple of my friends where we are all 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight. Where we're all playing randomized with different games all simultaneously. And all of the maps, all the different games that we're all playing have have items in other people's worlds. So, like, I am playing Hollow Knight. So I have to beat one of the bosses of Hollow Knight to unlock Fly, TM Fly, for one of my friends playing Pokemon. So, because everything is shuffled around so interestingly, it creates this weird situation where... there we go, weird. This weird situation where... Full house. where the correct thing to do is to go out of your way and go do things you otherwise wouldn't in the world. Randomizers already are pretty good at that, but this now encourages you even further because the thing you might need might be locked in somebody else's world, and you don't know where it might be. So you really want to go out of your way to get as much as you can to facilitate other people getting as much as they can, so that they can get you the things that you need in order to be able to succeed. It's this whole weird, like, extra layer of obfuscation. It's also really funny whenever I beat a boss and then I go collect this item and it's like, congratulations, you've collected a 1-up for Yoshi's Island. I'm like, thanks. That was a great item. I'm very glad that I spent 6 hours trying to beat that boss. It's a really interesting sort of game design, right? Wanting to play multiple games simultaneously, all linked together in a sort of like meta universe. Right now we have a Stardew Valley player, we've got me, the Hollow Knight player, we've got a Pokemon player, and we've got a what are they playing? Oh, Yoshi's Island player. Already mentioned that. So the Yoshi's Island, a lot of like you have to unlock worlds specifically, but then on top of unlocking worlds, a lot of the items that allow you to move around the levels are like grayed out. You need to find them somewhere before you're allowed to like use the bouncy pad, before you're allowed to use the car transformation. So all of that ends up being very difficult to Full House becomes very difficult to manage contiguously, because every little thing you need in order to be able to get through levels besides your own base movement kit is hidden. And it creates this weird incentive where instead of just trying to beat the levels and then moving on through the game, you're forced to go out of your way to go do other, like, you need to basically do a lot of the objectives for 100%. Because every time that you complete a level, you get an item, or item from the pool, right? They're called locations that trigger and give items to people, right? But it would give you a location check. Every time that you beat a level, but that you beat a level for the first time, you get a location check. Every time that you beat a level with all the flowers, you get a location check. Quads. Every time that you beat a level with max 30 shards, you get a location check. Every time that you beat a level with all 25 points, you get a location check. So it's like you need to go back and start doing all those little like 100% ass kind of things, because they're what gives you and other people their items that allow them to make progress, right? Full House! Maybe Full House is like great. Could be, because it's now being a lot of rolls, so. Okay, we're approaching the point where we're going to start adding something interesting to this thing to occupy the mind and the brain. So I'm going to try adding subway surfers. Hair. Two pair. Triple. Three of a kind. Three of a kind. Oh no, that's not a three of a kind. That's a Full House. Cool. Full House. Two back-to-back full houses. And then just a pair. Then just a pair. We've got one more pair, and then we've got one more, and then we're going to start adding some things to the screen. Okay, we've got a full three of a kind. I'm going to try to find... We're going to go to Documents, YouTube, Subway Surfers. We're going to add image, Subway Surfers. There we go. We're going to do that. And then we're going to do edit transform. No, not edit transform. Properties? No. Filters. There we go. Just enough to, like, hint at it, you know? Enough that somebody who's paying attention will be able to see that it's running. But not enough that it, like, is super overtly distracting. Which the goal is to be distracting. That's kind of the whole point, right? I could grab, like, a Subway Surfers video online, but that's just lame. I'm going to do one that's even funnier, just like a generic Subway Surfers GIF. There we go. We now have got entertaining content now, everybody. Hope you appreciate it. This is this is what I do for you. Okay, I'll grab a little bit more ginger ale and some water. Actually, give me a second. I'm gonna go grab some water right now. I'm just gonna take off my headphones. I'm gonna go find my water bouteille. Where's my bouteille? I found my booty dough. My bottle of water, my booty dough. Okay. Okay. Some water has been obtained. Okay. Let's do some more rolls. Single pair. About 500 more to go before the next threshold of adding something entertaining to the stream. It's gonna take about another hour, so. We got a full house. We're rolling that because it was cocked. You know that's my principle basically is that if something is on its edge, it's cocked, does not count, right? So I don't want a situation where it's like, yeah, it kind of looks like it's a Yahtzee, but like that's when it's like technically on the edge, so you can't be 100% sure. I'm not gonna honor that. I'm honoring a clear and distinct, obvious. This is a Yahtzee, and we're not doing anything else. 2 pair. Nothing. Oh, nope. That's a 2 pair. Another 2 pair. So yeah, there's a lot of shows that come to mind when I'm thinking of like shows whose visuals are meant to be like bland in a sense, like not even bland, but it's like sterile, meant to be taken away like without any other external influence, meant to make you think a very specific thing and then not really expand on it. Unfortunately, I think of, oh my god, I got it! Let's go! 2,519 total rolls, and I have gotten a Yahtzee. Ah! 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 It's the Yahtzee of fives, too, which is one of the better ones. It's the third best Yahtzee I could have gotten. I think everybody can agree very clearly when you're talking about, like, how good a Yahtzee feels to get. Yahtzee of sixes is the best, followed by a Yahtzee of ones, followed by a Yahtzee of fives. And then all the other ones, there's, like, I think twos feels the worst. I think it goes 6, 1, 5, 4, 3, 2. Basically, it goes 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, but then with the 1 being, like, so much better than all the other lower values. But, I've done it. I have done it. I'm actually going to disable Subway Surfers right now. Because... oh, man. Oh. Oh, man. Okay. So I can clip that now. Which I'm going to do soon, because that's awesome. That was fantastic. It took me 238 pairs, 114 two pairs, 79 triplets, 14 straights, 24 full houses, 10 quads, and 1 Yahtzee to get here. However, this is just however many I did here, right? What's funny is I've done over 2,000 rolls before this. So I was really deep in, like, Yahtzee debt, right? So I'm still actually in Yahtzee debt on average. But, man. Feels pretty good, I'm not going to lie. That's, you know what? I'm thinking that I might keep going for, like, another hour, get it to 1,000, see if I can get a second Yahtzee. Or I add another die. And then we modify this to include 6 of a kind, and then, like, change straights to only be, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That'll happen way less often than these are, I think. So we'd have pair, 2 pair, trips. Then we'd have 3 pair. We'd have triple. Sorry, we have full house. Then triple. Then quad pair. Then 5 of a kind. Then Yahtzee. I think that's all of them. So pair, 2 pair, 3 pair. Triplets, full house, double triplets. 4 of a kind a pair. 5 of a kind, Yahtzee, straight. That's 11 total things I can roll for. I would have to make a thing for this, and I don't think that I actually genuinely have the time to do that if I'm going to be doing 6 dice. But I will do it sometime. If I can get it so it automatically will update things and I'll be able to process accordingly, then I can just put it into a spreadsheet. Basically, just every time that I do a roll and I hit a button, it'll scan the screen, see what dice I have, and then go put it in the spreadsheet. Then, yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that at all. I think that would be totally fine to have, like, 15 different analysis things. How many ones I rolled total, how many 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s. And then people can bid over time, like, or something like that, I don't know. But, yeah. Well, it doesn't say stream will end when I roll 5 of a kind. I said it won't end until I roll 5 of a kind, which means now I can actually end stream if I wanted to. I'm going to keep rolling for a little bit longer now, just because I feel like doing it just a little bit longer. Maybe I'll, I only had the Subway Surfers on for like 20 rolls. That's pretty funny, honestly. You completely pulled myself out of the thought of talking about Severance and, like, television shows with, like, intentionally bland imagery to deliver a message. Because, like, Yeah, this pulls me directly out of it. Honestly, I think I just call it. I honestly am just thinking about calling it just because it's, well, I have been rolling dice, like, for, like, an hour plus every night for, like, the last week. And it's over. let's go to 600. I'll do 600, and then that's what I'm going to stop for today. Or let's go to 666 just because it's kind of funny. Yeah, let's do 666. So I got a Yahtzee. So yeah, I think like Western shows are another example of shows that are kind of like have this sterility to them. They don't really try doing anything super offensive because they want you to like think this is the Wild West, and then don't think of anything else beyond there. Just like take the background, use it enough to give you the check mark of I am sufficiently, my belief is sufficiently suspended, and then not put any more thought into it, right? You just want to have that checkbox and say, cool, you understand where we are, and now everything else is about the acting and what happens otherwise, right? The set dressing is an afterthought in a lot of television shows. But there are enough shows that where the set dressing is important enough to the aesthetic and environment and how a show is interpreted that it's really important to get that really, nailed correctly. And I think that, like, shows like John Wick, for example, do this immaculately, or movies like John Wick do this immaculately, right? Where they're trying to deliver a message with the bombastic background imagery on top of the ridiculous action happening. And Severance is just the opposite. I think it's, pretty cool. Oh. Just nothing. Oh. I'm gonna roll the 666 and then I'll be done for today. I've been getting so used to doing like really long roll marathons. I'm just trying to get one just on camera, just so I can show that I was doing it. It wasn't until I actually go live and decide, hey, I'm going to put this directly on my channel that I ended up succeeding. I thought it would have made like a 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool. I thought it would have made a cool side clip somewhere, but I'm glad it took me over an hour though. At least it does mean that like my efforts weren't like. It wasn't like it was like, oh, it was super easy to do, or it took a freaking eternity. It just felt like it's a very normal amount of time. If you're gonna be rolling a lot, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. No. Doesn't have the same impact now that I've already rolled a Yahtzee, right? Now that I've already done one, and all I'm just doing is like wrapping up a total sum count of them. Doesn't quite have the same oomph, But yeah, 2519 was my final amount. Sorry, 25. I think it would be 2520. I'll have to double check if I actually did increase on that value or not. I think I did, but I rolled 2001 rolls before the stream. So depending on which roll that actually was. Wow, another 4 of a kind. Weird. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I might be like one roll behind. or roll ahead. I'm not sure, but it doesn't really matter at this point. I've done enough rolls to demonstrate my point at the rounding error of the binomial distribution here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to pull up the binomial calculator. The odds were 1 divided by 1296. So it was 2, 5, 20. And the number of successes, 1. Yeah, so I got past the 85% threshold. That's ridiculous. Holy cow. At this point, yeah, let's go. Ah! Oh my god. Just like at this point, we're gonna keep rolling. If you get to 666, if I get a third Yahtzee, then I might do a we're not stopping until we get a Yahtzee of every other type stream. That I haven't yet rolled. I've now rolled a 5 and I have now rolled a 6. The Yahtzee of 6s is, like I said, the best one. Everybody loves me a Yahtzee of 6s. Like, I just... I forgot to mention I did roll a 6 off the table here. I think that would have been a full house if it weren't for you meddling kids. Well, full house. Wow. 4 of a kind. 4 of a kind. 3 of a kind. 3 of a kind. Pair. 2 pair. 2 pair. Full house. 3 of a kind. 3 of a kind. 2 pair. I'm glad that I have this on stream too to prove that I've actually been rolling a bunch, and it wasn't just like I was teasing it or some shit. You know that I was doing genuine rolling. Then not even like right? Like these are actual like genuine rolls. Whoops. 2 pair, not 3 of a kind. I will say, like you might be able to see on the side here. This was like in the order of how much I expected to get them. I expected to get more straight than I would full houses, but I was just totally off base there. Just a pair. I think that this, at this point, this is the gods granting me some relief from my hubris, where they were like, wait, he's actually serious. He's going to sit here and he's going to stream for 30 hours if he needs to in order to get this. And yes, the answer is I would. I absolutely would have. I would have sat here and done nothing else for however long it would have taken me. But I can't say that I'm not grateful that it didn't take super long. I've been wanting this project to be finished for a while. Just so I could, because I'm on a deadline. I'm trying to get this done by tomorrow. So I can flip it out and use it for external purposes. What is that? That's just a single pair. Wow. I don't know why my mind was thinking that it was something significantly more than just a pair, but it wasn't. It was just a single pair. Single pair. Single pair. Single pair. Single pair. Single pair. Three of a kind. 3 of a kind. 2 pair. $100 triplets. Let's go. I've rolled triple 100 times now. Making 620-ish rolls. But I've gotten there. I'm going to get 30 full houses before I tip over. Probably not, but it'd be nice. 2 more full houses would be pretty cool. More trips. That's just a pair, gross. 2 pair. Single pair. Well, I'll get one more Yahtzee before we reach the end. That'd be really nice. There we go. Full house. One more full house for the road. They can get to 30. Full house. I don't think the odds are 1 in 20, so I think I'm technically a little bit above average already. But like pair being 300 right now is also really interesting. I've now reached 301. Two, three, four, five, six. Bam. There we go. We're almost done. Thank you everybody who came out to watch today. Hope you all have enjoyed the die rolling and the yapping, talking a little bit about Severance and the idea of televisual design. I'm willing to just kind of yap for a while about whatever comes to mind. 3 of a kind. I'm happy with the with what I rolled here. One more thing would be interesting, but that's all I could really else ask for. 2 more quads. Just kidding. That's not realistic. One more straight and roll. That is realistic. If it's a 20, that'd be kind of nice. Well, I mean, there is one of the quads that I was asking for. The 3 of a kind. Wow, okay. Not only is the 1 straight, and I've gotten everything I've asked for. And... no. Last roll. Are we gonna get there on 666? No. Okay. There we go. 666 rolls in about 90 minutes. Well, a little less than, like, it took me less time because I spent some time reveling over the Yahtzees. But thank you all for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. This was a really interesting stream. I was preparing to sit here for the long game, but fortunately didn't need to today. There's my ginger ale. Cheers, everybody.